Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'm Lee, and in this video you'll see an overview of Torch and Shield, a skirmish miniature game with dwarves. A massive thank you to Grimskald for sending me out their prototype box set to share with you here on the channel, and they've got a Kickstarter launching today, so this is really great timing. I've had it a little while, but I've hung on to it. I thought it'd be good to share it today so you can get a good look at what's included and have an idea of what's coming up. But I'm pretty excited about this game. I've been on the lookout for some proper dwarves for a long time. I just haven't found them with other games and other game systems, but I think this could be the one. So let's go through all the contents of this prototype box. We'll have a close-up look at the miniatures, flick through the book, talk about the game, and then look out for another video coming probably next week where I get some of these really cool models painted up and ready to play. Right, let's start with the rulebook. So here we go. Torch and Shield, the core rulebook by Grimskald, and on the back it tells you everything that's going to be included. As you can see here, this is the early access copy, so things could change by the time it actually comes out for proper release. But as far as prototypes and early access copies go, this is really great. Hardback book, really well printed up, looking good. The back's very clear about what it contains, and you'll see as we flick through, it's got a real RPG, old school vibe to it, which I think is perfect for a Dwarven skirmish game. And here you can see the contents. There are quite a lot of rules to go through in this, so there is going to be an investment in time. As with any good game, you want to spend some time learning the rules, and you could start off with the basic principles and certainly develop it as you go. And as you see later on in the book, there's also a section for solo rules, which I talked about in a previous video. If you want to check that out, I'll link to it at the end of this one. So this is introducing you to the world of Torch and Shield, getting you into the vibe. You can see the artwork, very old school. I love black and white ink drawings like this. And when I first saw it, it really did catch my attention. There's also colour images throughout. You're going to see pictures of models. But for me, it's these black and white pictures that I really like. And again, the layout could change slightly, but nothing wrong with this at all. And certainly playable, ready to go. And you can see here there's some nice examples as well, so you can work out all the different like light and darkness, how that affects the game. That's a big part of this game. You're going down into these dungeons, you're competing with other clans, so you're going up against rival Dwarven clans, and the light and dark have different effects on the game, as you'll see some of the monsters benefiting from the darkness, and then the light is going to help the Dwarven clans. The game designer, Daniel Etherington, describes this as a competitive dungeon brawler. So you're pitting one dwarf band against another dwarf band in direct competition for treasure. As well as going up against the other dwarf bands, you're really competing against the other dangers that you'll find in the abandoned dwarf holds. So you're going to be trapped, different monsters and beasts, and the darkness itself. The book includes campaign rules, so you can work through it. And I think that's a really great way to play these kind of games. There's also 10 different scenarios included in the rulebook. Some of them are quicker and more simple to play, where others are a bit more challenging, a bit more in-depth. And so you've got some nice variety there. And of course, you could create your own around this, no problem. Once you've got an idea about the layout of the different scenarios, no reason why you can't do your own. Here's a nice image, or full colour. But for me, it's these black and white ink drawings. I like all the weapons, all the different characters. Really well done. One thing they've mentioned with this game as well is that you can use your own dwarves if you've got some already. It's a miniature agnostic game, and you can also use your own dungeon tiles. So if you've got Warhammer Quest or Hero Quest maps already, then they're going to work great for this. Even though you've got the layouts there in the different scenarios, I'm sure you could change it up, use different tiles, and then certainly recreate what you can see there. With Hero Quest, they're going to be pretty fixed on the boards. But otherwise, I think this is going to work really nicely. And if you've got 3D terrain, even better. You'll see that in a lot of their pictures. There you go, then that's a quick overview of the book. And so fair few rules to go through if you want to take this on. But I think it's worth the time investing in it. I think it's going to be really a good fun one, this. But let's have a look at some of the other components of the game, starting with the tiles. And here you can see I've got a selection of tiles. Again, these are prototypes, they could change. But these are great. Laminated card. They've been laser cut, so they are leaving that sooty residue. But this is only a prototype. You're going to expect things like that. But that's no problem. But this should give you a good idea of what you can expect to see from the Kickstarter when they actually fulfill it. Because these are looking brilliant. Really nice quality. I really like them. Yeah, good glossy there. Lots of detail. Really nice use of colours. You can see this one really stands out. Very nice. Reminds me a lot of Warhammer Quest. So if you remember Cursed City, if you managed to get hold of a box, It does remind me a lot of that, and you get a ton of tiles here, so there's plenty to be getting on with. And the good thing about using these kind of tiles is you can make up so many different dungeons that it shouldn't be the same one that you ever fight in. So loads of variety, and again, add your own to it. We've got some different tokens here you can use. Again, you're going to get that soot off these prototype ones. But these are the sort of things that I think are fun to make into objective markers. You could certainly make little bags of gold like this, levers, take them from other games. I've got some from Warcry, Catacombs that I'll probably use. In fact, Catacombs board would be good for this. Now on to the models then, and here are a selection of the doors. Now if you don't want to buy these already built, you can even print them yourself. So if you've got a 3D printer, the Kickstarter includes the STL. So if you want to go and check that out, you find all the details. Should be live by the time this video's up. But yeah, these are really good, and then the tiles will slot in underneath to hold them in place and connect them. So nice little doors, they're going to come in really handy, super quick to paint, get a couple of different style doors there. And again, if you've got Hero Quest already, you can use the components from that. That's going to be brilliant for this kind of thing, and from Catacombs for Warcry too. Let's start having a look at some of the models then. Here's a really big one they've sent out. This is the Croaker. And the Croaker is described as a lesser Helion from a primordial age. Hideously deformed, the once noble creature now rages against life itself. Now he's going to be one of your large monsters, and then they've got different monster profiles. Cretins, which are swarm monsters. Dark Dwellers, they're brood monsters. Then you've got Minders Hulks, who are brutes, and then Labyrinth Beasts, they're big monsters, again large. But with these Cretins, you can use anything. They've got the different monster profiles for the 5 different types, and then you use the models you've got. So you can really start mixing it up using your collection. But here's some of the swarm monsters, the little Cretins, which I think are pretty cute. They look great. And then the models that, the bases, sorry, that they provided as well are going to be really nice to get painted up. And I like it when you get the form bases like this. It saves you a ton of time. Again, these are all prototypes, so expect them to be slightly different. The quality is going to be higher because they're actually going to be using CYCLAIRE plastic, and this is a great technique. I've talked about this a little bit before, but if you have a look at the CYCLAIRE website, you'll get an idea of that. But a really good way of getting the models done. But here you can see another Cretin one that they've sent out. Really cool looking model. Some kind of mushroom hat by the looks of things, which is cool. And then lots of character. Again, the bases all formed, ready to go. So we got some Crepins. We got some Cretins. We got a Croaker. There's some big monsters and brutes to come as well later on. And you can see all the different weapons here that go along with those Cretins. Very nice. Lots of variety. I think this has got a lot of potential. It looks really fun, doesn't it, from the models? And even though these are just like 3D printed and sent out, I think they've done a brilliant job of putting it all together, and it should give you a good idea about the quality that you can expect from the finished, more crisper models. Here's a Minotaur, awesome, and then you've got some of these guys. These are going to probably be, what, your brutes, I reckon? They look fantastic. So fun, all ready to just get painted up. So I'll be doing some painted videos so you can see these coming together. And then, of course, we got the dwarves. Now, we've got 2 different types here, so they're going to be very individual. There's 7, I believe, in each pack. And so we're going to get 14 completely different dwarves. This is fantastic to start making up those crews. I do like the Cretins they've sent, but it's these dwarves that really got my attention when I saw them. When I opened these up, I'm like, yeah, these are fantastic. These are like proper dwarves. And I've been looking for some really good dwarves for a long time. Games Workshop dwarves don't do it for me. Never really got on with the Fire Slayers. Don't really like the look of those. But these are great. They've got good beards. They're small. They're stocky. They've got some great weapons. And each one is unique. Really nicely done. Got lots of texture there, which is going to come up great when we paint that. And yes, so there's 7 in each box here, and you can see each one has got its own little character going on. And then you can arm it with different weapons, hammers, axes, crossbows. So you've got some ranged attacks. They've got lanterns to carry, shields. I really like this with the beard. Yeah, I mean, it's very much old school dwarves, which is what I like. And so it reminds me a lot of the ones you would get for like D&D and stuff. So this is great to see them all coming together in a little crew like this. And you're going to have them split into different categories. You're going to have grey shields. These are sometimes known as greybeards, depending on how old they are. They've proven themselves countless times, and they lead the delving crews into the dark and decide how best to approach the dangers of the Dwarven holds. Then you're going to have Thanes. They're also going to have the leadership trait, and so they may not have proven themselves just yet, but they've been elevated to edition by their fellow clansmen who see something in them worth following. So that's really cool. So you've got your kind of leader with your grey shield. Your Thane is like the second in command. And then you're going to get clansmen who make up the bulk of most of the crews. And then you're going to get your shortbeards. So these are the inexperienced, enthusiastic ones, but they lack the strength and fighting skills of those seasoned warriors. Here's a really nice selection of weapons that you're going to arm these with. And I really like that there's not too much equipment to choose from. Sometimes having too much doesn't work. It's good to just keep it nice and succinct. Here you've got swords, axes, hammer, mace, pick, two-handed sword, great axe maul, and war mattock. You've got some charms and climbing gear, some ranged attack weapons, a little bit of armour, and master brews. There's a great little cup there as well. I was going to stop there, but I think we've got to get this second box open and have a look at these two. It's the dwarfs I'll be painting up for sure, so you're going to see some of these painted. I'm going to put myself together a little crew and get going with this and have a go. I think it's going to be pretty fun. So yeah, I'll get some of these painted. I'll do a video so you can have a look at that as well. But yeah, these are nice different ones again. So there's 14 completely different sculpts here, which I think is brilliant because then you can have a really nice variety running through it. There you go, some have got helmets, some haven't. Looks like he's reaching back for his sword there, maybe a lantern in the other hand. We're going to get some different weapons in this pack as well. But I really like there's 4 different crew members to choose from. The weapons aren't just a crazy list. It's going to be really quick to actually get going and get started. And I think if you've got a collection of dwarves already and you don't want to use these models, buy them or download the STL files, then you can just go WYSIWYG, choose your models, make sure they match up with the weapons and things from here, and you're going to be good to go. I'm really looking forward to this actually. It's been a while since I've done a proper dungeon delving game, so it's nice to get some really good dwarf characters. And I think I like the setting, I like the idea of it, I like the monsters, I like the simplicity of your crew and the monsters you're going up against, but then the rules are complex and deep enough that I think there's a lot going on here. It's certainly going to be challenging, I think, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the AI, how that flows and how that works. So that's going to be interesting because I'm really getting into the solo play again at the moment. And finally, we've got some cards to have a look at. So here are the character cards. Again, these are prototypes, but very nicely done. Very good printing, good quality, nice and thick. You're going to be wanting to do your own of these, and you can just photocopy the ones from the book, and I'm sure they've got it as a PDF as well, available on their website, or there will be. And then you've also got all the characters cards printed out in the book as well, and then you've got some nice reference pages in there and an action matrix, so that's going to really help. So lots of reference sheets in the book, and with these cards combined you shouldn't have to keep going through searching all the pages, which is something I really like. I'll put a link down below to the Kickstarter page for Torch and Shield, which launches today. Super excited. I love seeing games like this from independent creators, and it'd be awesome if you go and check it out, follow along, and if you like it, pledge as well. Brilliant to support them. It's just Daniel Etherington and his team getting on with this and getting it going. So a proper independent game by people who are passionate about tabletop skirmish gaming, and I think you're really going to get a feel for the old school vibe from this one. So if that's the kind of thing you're into, then this could be a great game for you. It's got all the information about the tiers on their page. I won't go through all that now. You can have a look for yourself, but you do have the option of getting it in print, in PDF, getting the models, or just the STL files, printed it yourself, or just get the book and then use what you've already got at home, so you don't have to get those models. But I think these dwarves have been really well done. I hope you enjoyed seeing this overview of the game Torch and Shield. This is something that I think has got a lot of potential, and it looks like it's been done really well. And if this is just the prototype, I think when you get it fulfilled, it's going to be even better. So yeah, great job so far from Grimskald team. Looks awesome, and I've really enjoyed getting this out and sharing it with you. Looking forward to getting these models painted, so look out for that coming in the next week or so. I'd love to hear what you think about this as well. Maybe you've seen it on some of the other YouTube channels. Let me know in the comments down below. I'd really love to hear what you think about this. A massive thank you as well to my sponsors and supporters this month for helping me keep going with these daily videos. There's loads on the channel now. I'm trying to push out more independent games and just explore different games that are out there like this one. And if you're interested in solo play, you might want to check out my series that I'm doing with Raybox Games. For some whimsical fantasy, check out Moonstone, what a fantastic game. And then for more of your historical gaming, check out my series I'm doing with Warlord Games. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did like it, it'd be great if you hit the like button, subscribe for more videos like this one, go and check out that link to Kickstarter down below for Torch and Shield, and I look forward to seeing you here next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games. Thank you so much to my Patreon supporters for helping me to keep going with these regular videos. I couldn't do this without you, and I appreciate your support so much. If you'd like to join the Patreon community, support the channel, get some great perks at the same time, there's a link down below in the description. It'll be awesome to see you there.